Money is not just about numbers. It is about habits, discipline, and the way you train yourself to handle opportunities. People who become wealthy are not simply lucky, they practice specific patterns of behavior that shape their future. I used to believe that making more money was only about working harder, but as time went on, I realized that the real game is in the small, daily decisions. Habits shape wealth more than talent, and once I began following certain millionaire habits, my bank account started to look very different. In this script, I will share with you 5 millionaire habits that completely changed my financial life. These are not theories or motivational slogans. They are real, practical actions that anyone can apply. If you commit to them, you will not just make more money, you will learn how to keep it, grow it, and live with financial freedom. Habit 1. Paying myself first. The first major shift in my journey happened when I learned to pay myself first. Most people receive money and immediately spend it on bills, rent, food, or entertainment. Whatever is left, they call it savings. But here is the truth. If you wait until the end of the month to save, there will rarely be anything left. Millionaires reverse this. The moment income arrives, they take a fixed percentage and keep it aside for themselves before paying anything else. At first, this sounded unrealistic. I thought, how can I save when I barely have enough? But the habit is not about the amount, it is about the discipline. I started with just 10%. If I earned $100, 10 was automatically mine to keep. Over time, this money grew into a safety net, then an investment fund, and eventually into wealth that worked for me instead of me always working for it. By paying myself first, I created a system that forced me to live within my means while secretly building wealth in the background. It is like planting seeds before anything else. Even if life is busy, the seeds keep growing quietly. Habit 2. Investing in knowledge. The second millionaire habit that transformed my bank account was investing in knowledge. In my early years, I spent money like most people on temporary pleasures. But millionaires see money as a tool to buy skills, information, and wisdom. I realized that one good idea could make me thousands of dollars, while one book could save me years of mistakes. I began dedicating part of my income to education. Sometimes it was books, sometimes online courses, sometimes paying for mentorship. At first, I worried that I was wasting money, but soon, the return on knowledge became clear. Because I read about investing, I avoided poor financial decisions. Because I learned digital skills, I earned new streams of income. Because I studied negotiation, I saved more money in deals. Knowledge compounds in the same way money does. The earlier you start, the greater the effect. Each piece of learning connects to the next, and suddenly, you see opportunities that others miss. My bank account grew not only because of what I earned, but because of the smarter choices I made with what I earned. That is the power of investing in knowledge. Habit 3. Tracking every dollar. The third habit is simple but life-changing. Millionaires know where every dollar goes. Poor people say they do not know why they are always broke. The difference is awareness. I started writing down every expense, no matter how small. At first, it felt unnecessary. But within 1 month, I saw clearly where my money was leaking away. I realized I was spending more than I thought on subscriptions, eating out, and things that gave me no real value. By tracking every dollar, I felt in control for the first time. It is impossible to grow wealth if your money slips through your hands like water. Once I tracked my money, I could cut unnecessary costs and redirect that money into savings and investments. Here is the powerful part. Once you respect small amounts, big amounts begin to respect you. Millionaires treat $1 with the same seriousness as they treat 10,000. Because of this, money grows in their hands, not in someone else's pocket. Habit 4. Building multiple streams of income. The fourth millionaire habit that changed my bank account was creating multiple streams of income. For most of my life, I had only one source, a job. If that income stopped, everything stopped. Millionaires never depend on one stream because they know one river can dry up. At first, I thought creating more streams required a massive amount of money. But I started small. I learned a digital skill and used it to freelance part-time. I began selling small products online. I experimented with tiny investments. Each one started slow, but together they created a web of income sources. Some months, one stream was strong while the other was weak, but because I had several, I never felt completely stuck. Over time, these streams grew. What used to be extra pocket money became full income. This habit changed my mindset completely. Instead of waiting for one paycheck, I began to build a system where money could flow from many directions. And the truth is, this habit protects you. In uncertain times, you are not dependent on a single employer or client. You become financially flexible. Habit 5. Practicing delayed gratification. The fifth millionaire habit that changed everything was delayed gratification. This is the ability to wait for bigger rewards instead of taking smaller ones immediately. Most people spend money as soon as they get it. They buy the newest phone, the latest fashion, or a short vacation. Millionaires train themselves to wait. They understand that the temporary happiness of spending cannot compare to the long-term security of wealth. I used to think saving and waiting was boring, but then I noticed a pattern. Each time I held back from unnecessary spending, I had more money to invest, and those investments began to multiply. Soon, the satisfaction of watching my money grow became more powerful than the feeling of buying something new. Delayed gratification is not about denying yourself forever. It is about making sure today's desire does not destroy tomorrow's opportunity. Once I mastered this, my entire financial life changed. My bank account grew not because I earned more instantly, but because I controlled myself consistently. How these habits work together, each habit on its own is powerful. But when you combine them, they create a system that naturally builds wealth. Paying yourself first ensures that savings grow. Investing in knowledge increases your earning power. Tracking money gives you control. Multiple streams of income make you secure. And delayed gratification keeps your wealth multiplying. The transformation in my bank account did not happen overnight. It was gradual, almost invisible at first. But with time, the results were undeniable. I went from living paycheck to having savings, investments, and income streams that gave me real choices in life. And all of it started with habits, not luck. The hidden millionaire secret. Here is something interesting to think about. Millionaire habits are not about money, they are about identity. When you practice these habits, you stop seeing yourself as someone who is broke or limited. You begin to see yourself as someone who controls money instead of being controlled by it. That identity shift is more valuable than any single paycheck. Imagine two people. One earns a high salary but spends recklessly. The other earns much less but practices millionaire habits. 10 years later, the disciplined person will be wealthier. Why? Because money flows to the one who respects it, multiplies it, and uses it wisely. This is the secret that most people never learn. Millionaires are not superhuman. They are ordinary people who apply extraordinary discipline. These 5 habits: paying yourself first, investing in knowledge, tracking every dollar, building multiple streams of income, and practicing delayed gratification, are available to anyone. You do not need $1 million to begin them. You can start today with whatever amount you have. When I started these habits, my life was not special. I had no massive savings, no inheritance, no big opportunity waiting. But by repeating these actions daily, I built a foundation that changed my financial destiny. If you are serious about transforming your bank account, choose one habit today and practice it. Do it until it becomes natural. Then add the next. Step by step, you will see your financial life shift in ways you never imagined. Your future is hidden in your daily habits. If you practice the habits of average people, you will live an average financial life. But if you practice the habits of millionaires, even if you start small, your bank account will eventually reflect it. These are not just habits, they are tools to build freedom, security, and wealth. And the best time to start them is now.